everybody out there, my name is Dragonix and welcome to Onikira Demon Killer. It's a new early access game released on Steam, and I wanted to highlight it as a counterpoint to RIP's early access. Now again, I said it was $4.99, it's usually $9.99, and so it's a little bit discounted for the early, it's a lot discounted for the early access. But here is what's the difference between a game like RIP and a game like Onikira. The main mechanics work, and they're relatively fun. And I shouldn't say relatively, they are fun. So, the main thing about Onikira is its combat. And as you see here, you can just use your sword, and your sword works, and you know, I can just keep on slashing my enemy here over and over again. But what's in depth here is the mechanics regarding the multiple weapons, which I will show you in this next section portion. Okay, so another enemy here. Let's throw him into the air. Then let's use our blades here to knock him into the air. And let's dash below to hit him again. Up here, let's do this, and then let's hit him with a club. What works in this game very well is the different weaponry that they give you. I have a kunai, which I can dash myself over to the enemy. I can, if I actually, there we go, dash myself over to the enemy. I have this club. I have a Nagasaka, which is that huge blade that does a lot of range, but maybe not the, maybe it's a little bit slower. The Devil May Cry feel that you may get from this game is justified. You see the D in the corner and the B and the C, and I'm gonna get this weapon again. It's very justified. However, it's very good. Now, is it an early access game? Here's an example of why it's an early access game. You see the text isn't exactly in the right area. I can't read what that tactic something in the bottom there, but the game shows in its lack of polish in certain areas. It's hard to see at times what's going on with the background playing the way it is. Enemy feedback in terms of you getting hit. You get feedback in terms of your health bar, but it would be nice to hear a little bit more audio out of it. But what those are they're littler bugs. There are things that can be added, but the main combat and the main portion of the game is there. And it's fun. I mean, if you're any sort of beat-em-up kind of player, you're going to enjoy the level of combat you have in this game. I have a lot of options. I have a lot of choices. I have a dodge move, which, of course, is standard, but it does play a very big role in terms of, you know, dodging enemies and even getting to the enemies in question. So, it's about early access. Where I see it failing a lot of the times is that an early access game will be released and it's not anywhere near a pre-alpha stage. What the thing with the alpha games are, and for those who don't know the industry, I'm not part of the industry itself, but I've studied it a little bit at this point. I'm a computer programmer myself, so I know generally what an alpha, beta, and everything is supposed to be. A beta should be something where it's releasable to the public, and yeah, it doesn't have the greatest of polish, but all the features are there. I mean, you should be looking for customer feedback, I guess, but you're really in a bug testing phase. Alpha should be feature complete. However, the thing is that you may ditch features that aren't working, or you may abandon features that aren't working. You may refine features that you get feedback from your users and they're like, okay, that doesn't work. But your main portion of your game is there, and Onikira does that well. I keep on saying Onimusha, but no, that's another samurai game. So, yeah, it's got problems. There have been a couple of issues that I've ran into with bugs regarding, I got launched into another space once when I jumped. All of a sudden I'm falling to my doom. Similar to Assassin's Creed Unity lately. Which is, by the way, a AAA title that didn't release in an alpha or beta stage. I hit a portion where I was able to re-get an item, like those weapons here. This is supposedly a start of a new game, but I have all my weapons now. The new game portion on the front is a little bit deceivious because you really start with the same stuff that you had the last time. So there are bugs. But am I having fun with this? Hell yes I am. Will I keep on wanting to play this after this first initial video? Hell yes I will, especially with updates. And will I be giving feedback to the developer? Again, being a developer myself, of course I would. Even in the bad case I would, but like I did with Rip. However, I'm definitely going to do it for this one. I mean, it's going to be a point where I may make a video to them to say, hey, here's what you need to improve on your game in question. But there's also some mix-ups here. One of the things that you'll get later on is the fact that you'll be fighting, and then all of a sudden, I got my Naginata again. You'll be fighting, and fire will be coming after you. And at first you're like, oh, okay, fire's coming after me. Oh, wait, it's killing me. Shit. And the normal fight sequence, you'll have to, throw your enemies towards the fire so that they burn rather quickly and that you live. So that you can go on the next section and you get rid of these, block portions. So there is some variety. You'll run into a boss or two. Again, not the most polished of games, but one, when a game like this comes out in early access, one of the problems I've seen also too is that they expect full price or maybe a 10% price cut. But here, it's 50% off for this first portion if you sign up in early access. That gives incentive for a person to play and gives an incentive for a person to give feedback to. And honestly, I think this game right now, at this point, even though it's got a lot of issues with it, the combat's deep enough where I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm okay with paying $5 for this. So I don't have a problem with it. So what else is wrong with the game? Well, okay, you've seen the art style. It's really hard to see some of the things that are happening in terms of the enemies. Like, okay, you see that laser fire. It blends into the background rather nicely, and so it's like, oh, is he firing? Is he not firing? I can't tell. I got to sort of squint my eyes to do it. So there's some design choices there that could be dealt with, but a color palette swap could be easily done there. Again, there is some feedback issues, but other than that, I mean, it's a good game. It's a very fun game, and especially if you like the beat 'em up, it is definitely worth $5. And especially if it's in early access, they've specifically said what their goal is. They want feedback on the combat system. What should cancel into this? What should I be able to do with this? Which, that's good. They know exactly what they're looking for out of their early access program, as opposed to, oh, can you give us feedback or can you bug test for us? Other than that, they also have told you what you get in the early access program. Specifically, these are the number of levels. We're going to plan on adding these later on. You know what you're getting, and that's huge. And they also give a timeline of when they think they'll be done. I think it's about 2 to 3 months. Let me check here. Yeah, so they're planning on releasing it in 3 months in February of next year. So again, they're giving you a lot of information to work off of. If you don't want the game, fine. But if you're looking for a cheap game to pick up early on, that's not done, but sort of I don't want to say an investment, but, actually sort of an investment, because I think this game is good, as well as, a fun game to just pick up and play and maybe give some interaction with, a community on. If you're looking for a developer, you want to give some feedback to them, I think this game's a perfect example of where early access can go right. Oopsies. So, think about picking up Onikira. It is $4.99 again. I have a link down in the description of the video on the store page, and I hope you guys enjoy. Samurais, swords, naganatas, and everything along that line. Thank you for your time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have a chance, leave some feedback and comments below. If you liked the video, hit that like button. And if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button. This is Dragonix signing off, hoping that gaming brings as much fun to you as it does for me.